Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and finally, we have the official announcement card reveals for the next mini set in Hearthstone, the first ever crossover, Heroes of StarCraft. It will launch next Tuesday on the 21st. It will cost 2,500 gold, 20 USD dollars, so a bit of an increase because we're getting 49 cards across 3 different factions with multi-class cards. We're getting 4 legendaries as usual. 3 of them will be multi-class hero cards and 1 neutral in Grunty. None of them have been revealed yet. We'll find out later in the week, but we're going to review a bunch of these cards, go over kind of how everything's going to work, the factions and all that. And I want to announce our giveaway, where I'm going to give away 3 mini sets out of my pocket. To enter that giveaway, like and comment on this video with whatever you want. Be subscribed to the channel. Every 1,000 subs we get until next Tuesday, when that mini set goes live, I will add another mini set to that giveaway. No limit on that. We're super close to 90K, so hit that sub button. Make me go Baroque. And yeah, if you're wondering about the golden mini set, that will be available for like 12,000 gold and $80 USD. And they're offering a different option this time around. If you want to buy just one faction, you can regularly for 1,200 gold. So it's cheaper to buy them all in one. But if you want to buy just one faction, maybe you only play one class, you can buy them separately for 1,200 gold or $10. So yes, we have 3 different factions here that will be playable, that the whole thing is around. I believe there's only 1 neutral card at all, like 1 pure neutral card, which is Grunty, which is going to have like the latest reveal of all the cards. And we'll start off with the Zerg class or faction, starting off with the Hunter card. And Zerg cards are Death Knight, Demon Hunter, Hunter, and Warlock. Although this card is specifically just for Hunter, it is a Hydraulisk, a 3 mana 4/2 minion, and you know it's a Zerg minion by that like little emblem at the top under the 3 of the card. I'll try and have a graphic on the screen as well, so you know it's a Zerg minion. It doesn't actually have a tribe on it, and it says Battle Cry, deal 2 damage to a random enemy. Repeat for each other Zerg minion you control. It's like Flame Jungler, right? It used to deal 1 damage. This deals double that. However, you have a full board, like 6 other Zergs. You're dealing 14 damage. I believe in increments of 2, right? It repeats, it doesn't stack. So that can be a ton of damage. Obviously, we don't know enough cards yet to know how wide we can go, but I say you hit like 2 or 3 other minions on the board, you're very happy. And yeah, this can go face. This could be a weird, well, pretty hard to get to be an OTK. I guess with Bran in WoW, there's a way to do it, but yeah, can fight for tempo, remove a minion early in the game, or I guess go face. It could be a pretty solid card. Again, it has actual face impact, so it can't completely write it off. These are going to be really hard cards to evaluate, by the way, because they are so restricted to working with other stuff. So if they don't work, it's going to be like Starships where, well, none of it's going to work, right? So we'll see how it goes. I'll give it a 3 out of 5 in Standard, a 2 out of 5 in Wild, where, yeah, they got Brand and all that, but probably not going to make the cut there. Another card we have, you'll note this has a neutral frame, but there's like those 3 little things on the right of the card. That means it can only be played by the Zerg classes. So this is a neutral location, but the Zerg classes can use it. So like Demon Hunter and all that, right? All those other classes can use this. So it's not truly a neutral location. It's 1 mana, it has 2 durability, and you get a 1/1 Zergling. Death Rattle, your Zerg minions have rush this turn. And a Zergling is a pretty good card. It's a 1 mana 1/1 Battle Cry, summon a copy of this. So if it gets hand buffed in any way, it gets, you know, it'll retain that too. So at the bare minimum, you're getting a 1 mana 2/2, but there is upside if you have hand buff cards or anything like that. And that's just a good way to generate tokens. You can get more Zerg minions on the board to deal more damage. It's really cheap. It's pretty flexible. And you can give rush at the end of it, right? When you've used that second durability. Seems really solid to me. I'm giving this a 4 out of 5 in Standard, and I'll give it a probably 2 out of 5 in Wild. But yeah, I could see this absolutely being a staple, and considering it's, you know, able to be used by all these classes that have that Zerg faction, that could be really darn effective. Next, we have the scariest faction, in my opinion, the Protos faction, which is Druid, Mage, Priest, and Rogue, starting off with the 0 mana Druid spell, so only accessible by Druid unless generated through other means. It reads, your next Protos card this turn costs 2 less. So this is basically an innervate, right? This can just cheat out, or a prep for whatever card it is, and that could be a minion, I believe a hero card, anything. And yeah, this seems incredibly strong, and I don't think it would work with itself, because if you played Construct Pylons, this is a Protoss card itself, so then it would eat the discount. It would be 0 - 2, which is 0, right? So I don't believe you could play 2 of these and then get out something even cheaper, but still, prepping something out can be pretty darn effective. We know that, but again, it's completely restricted to the cards in this mini set. It does nothing with anything else, right? Other than like a Gadgets to the Auctioneer and Wild, where it'll draw you a card, right? There's still spell synergies, but I'm gonna give this a 5. I'll give it a 5 in standard, because anytime a 0 mana card that cheats more mana, I just don't see how that's not gonna be good in some way. I'll give it a 3 in Wild, because if anything's gonna work in Wild, it's a mana cheat card. So yeah, this one scares me quite a bit, but it is just for Druid, just like this card, Carrier, a 12 mana 2/14 mech. So unless you play New Heights or you have a couple of innervates, the only way to get this out is that like other 0 mana spell. There's other ways, of course, but you get what I mean. This is a Protoss card. So this says at the end of your turn, you summon 4/1 interceptors that attack random enemies. And the interceptor looks just like that. It's a mech. Nothing else on it other than that, but yeah, that could be 16 damage going all face or killing minions. And if anything lives, you got stuff on the board. It's pretty darn solid. I get Dungar vibes looking at this, although yeah, you probably have room on the board if you Dungar, right? You usually summon, 3 other minions, you got 4. You'll miss out on a 4/1, whatever. But yeah, getting this out in any efficient manner would be pretty darn terrifying, and it's not a one-time deal. If this 14 health minion does not die, it will continue to summon 4/1 interceptors. It kind of reminds me of Troublemaker back in the day with Warrior, which was a good card in Warrior, which had no ramp. There was ways to cheat it out still, but I'm not going to completely write this off, especially considering, yeah, the whole archetype seems to be around cheating mana and summoning big things, and how could that go wrong? I'll give it a 3 out of 5 in standard. I'll give it a 2 out of 5 in Wild. But yeah, Drakari Enchanter, I guess, in Wild, although board space issues will be there. But yeah, that card is a little bit spooky. And for a last card for Protoss here, again, it's got that emblem on it. It can only be used by Protoss classes despite the neutral thing, but it can be shared by them, just like Cabal Courier, right? Back in the day, it's very similar to that. Photon Cannon, a 2 mana spell, deal 3 damage. If this kills a minion, your Protoss minions cost 1 less this game. This is disgusting. This is let's say I play this on turn 2 and I mean, you literally can't, there's not enough cards, but let's say there's 27 or 25 Protoss minions in my deck or anywhere, right? They're all -1. This is mass mana cheat for 2 mana. And again, you're limited by your Protoss minions and all of that, but these are the type of cards that Zeddy rants are born from, where you get mass mana cheat, and this can go into any class, right? That is a Proton class. So Mage, Druid, Priest, Rogue, you could prep this in Rogue. Ooh, this is pretty spooky, so we'll see. But yeah, I'll give it a 4 out of 5 in standard. I mean, if these decks are gonna work, the Protoss or whatever, this is gonna be a staple in most of those things, right? And this could even go face. This could be face damage. It's not even just to a minion. That's just to get the discount. You gotta kill with it, but you could use this as burn face too. It's super flexible. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 in standard. I'll give it a 3 out of 5 in Wild, because again, mana cheat, burn in Wild, you just never ever know. And lastly, we have the Terran faction. This is, I believe, Shaman, Warrior, and Paladin, which is all about starships. They're getting their own starship stuff going on. And first we have the Shaman card, Missile Pod. It is a 2-mana, 1/3 mech. And yes, you'll notice this starship is actually a mech, unlike all the other starships for the other classes. It has Battle Cry, deal 1 damage to all enemies. So this goes phase. Also triggers on launch. This is such a good card. You could play this just as a stand. Remember Ravaging Ghoul back in the day? You get a 2-mana 1 damage AoE that goes face on a stick that you can relaunch later. This is incredibly strong if any starship deck, well, I guess for Shaman, this is the only one. And they can use the neutral starship pieces too, remember. Those still exist, right? The shielded mini bot and the armor one, so they can utilize that as well. Yeah, 2 times AoE, get the tribal synergy. It's not premium statted. That's the only thing that's not going for it, but I'm getting 4 out of 5 in standard, 2 out of 5 in wild, where starships have not worked whatsoever, but this is one of the best starship pieces we have seen, including the Great Dark Beyond. Next, we have the Siege Tank. Another Shaman card. It is a 5-mana, 5/5 mech, Battle Cry. You deal 10 damage to a random enemy minion. That is a lot of damage. It could be absorbed by a 1/1 or whatever. But anyways, it also says transforms if you launched a starship this game. So let's say I've already launched my starship. I get Siege Tank Deployed, which is Battle Cry, deal 10 damage to a random enemy minion. Excess damage hits the enemy hero. So maybe I hit that 1/1 with this guy. I'm dealing 9 and feeling pretty good about it. Just like a support card for starship decks. It's not a starship piece itself, but yeah, it could get some upside. But the fact it's just a random enemy minion, it's not like a greatly statted minion itself. I can't really imagine it. The fact you can't target with this is a big deal. Obviously, it can't go face either. I feel like I'm surprised the transform version doesn't let you target what to kill, because I feel like that would help the card out a lot, but maybe that was too good at playtesting. I don't know. But overall, not really sold on this one, to be honest. I think starships could work considering the early starship piece, but I don't know if you really want to run this as your removal option. So as a result, I'm just going to give it a 2 out of 5 in standard, a 1 in wild. But again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it works out. But yeah, definitely one I'm not entirely sold on. Also have the neutral. It's a Terran minion here. The SCV, a 1-mana, 1/3 mech. So again, can only be used by warrior, by shaman, and by paladin. And it has Battle Cry. Your next starship launch costs 2 less. We've had no way to discount how to launch your starships until now. But again, this is only available to the Terran classes. So the other starships, they can't launch earlier, but I believe if you play 2 of these, you can launch your starship for 1 mana. And with Exodars, well, actually, would that be even helpful? I don't know. Regardless, you can launch it for dirt cheap and then take advantage of that card that transforms and all that. You could maybe want to launch multiple starships in a game. Plus, you're getting a premium statted tribal minion. Seems incredibly strong. You're definitely going to want to play this in any starship deck for those classes. I'm giving this a 4 out of 5 in standard, a 2 out of 5 in wild. And oh yeah, by the way, the starship that you will launch for all 3 Terran classes is the Battle Cruiser. Looks like that over there. Very similar to each class has their own starship. These guys, the Terran faction, they share this. So every time you summon it, it'll look like that. And I don't believe I have the signature version here, but yeah, there'll be a signature version. So lots of cards to go over. We don't know the legendaries yet. They'll be coming up. The next 4 days, we'll all have legendary reveals, but we have one more later today. So stay tuned, get in that giveaway. And this mini set looks really unique. I gotta say that much. It looks totally different. It's gonna be so hard to evaluate, and I'm really excited to see what's next. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.